The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. It is Tuesday, June 25th. We are on the last full week of June. The heat has gone down a little bit where I am, but we're really about to kick off our summer season right here, right now. So we have the one and only Ryan Page with me, as always. What's up, Ryan?
How's it going, Matt? We got a big panel today.
Very much so, and a very fun one. Kara's here. Good to see you, Kara.
Hello.
Jose's in the house. Jose, what's up?
What's good?
And now we have a new friend joining the show in the summer of all new guests coming in. She's from Washington, D.C., good friend of Ryan, and I know now a good friend of the Productive Conversation show. I'd like to introduce to you Katie Johns. What's up, Katie?
Hi, I'm so delighted to be a part of a panel ever since the ANTM days of the early 2000s. It's like my Janice Dickinson moment has arrived.
Oh, man, and this is going to be a real special one. So let us mark down and talk about what's going on in our world. Here's another episode of Productive Conversations, and here's a tweet cap. So let's get into it. Let's start. There's lots to do, lots to talk about. So why don't we kick it off with this? Over the past few days, I'm about to play you a clip that you are very well aware of. So let's just get into it right away.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing. You get me?
Oh, man. The advice heard around the world. I am sorry, Grandma Lola, and anybody who thinks this a little too much, but we know what she's referring to. But yes, that is the Hawk 2 girl, a 23-year-old out of Nashville, Tennessee, just having a night on the town with their friends. You have an influencer, content creator asking typical questions of drunk people, and he simply hit the jackpot with it. That clip has been seen tens of millions of times, and you've seen memes all over the place with it. You've seen plenty of opinions, and she is becoming a little star herself. And while I get her name, to be fair, to give her credit, but right off the bats, the Hawk 2 girl to start off your summer, what comes to mind when you see that clip? Let me
There's
throw
only
it out
one
there.
thing that comes to my mind, Matt.
What's that?
That's Foghorn Leghorn. That was some Looney Tune shit. That was some Looney Tune shit. Hawk 2! Like, why did she do this?
Man.
She should have done the one eye. That's the only thing I can think of.
It kind of feels like a meme from like 5 years ago that's just popping up now in a way. I keep seeing people make like rage comics and just like classic like 2010s memes to it, and those are circulating. Like I'm not seeing a lot of modern like brain rot memes around it.
Yeah, it's right there for you. We know what she's talking about. And you know what she's talking about.
Well, I mean, sure.
And her name's
like...
Katie Vickers, by the way. Katie Vickers.
Oh, she's another Katie?
Looks like it.
Oh, I mean, we might be in the first name club, but I don't know if we're in the club the other kind of way. But I mean, I love that for her, though. I bet she spells her name with a C instead of a K.
Nah, she's Katie, Katie.
Yikes.
Have you guys seen any of like the weird stuff that people have been like applying to her? I keep seeing posts, and it might just be my like very redneck city, but I keep seeing people saying she's ending feminism.
This
like
is
weird shit like that. Yeah,
when you take it too seriously.
Feminism.
They're saying she's ending feminism. She ended Pride Month and all this stuff, and it's like,
I have seen that. Not ending Pride Month,
Wild.
but it's like taken away from the vibe of June, and that's more people talking about.
I mean, I feel like anyone celebrating Pride can Hawk 2 on that thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I don't know that Pride Month is a month where that's not happening.
Yeah,
I'd venture to say it's happening as frequently,
talk.
if not more. My thing is, it is weird because obviously, Matt's alluded to it like 900 times. Yes, we know because of the question what she was talking about. But the actual thing she said was like you said, it's like some Looney Tunes PG nonsense. And she just made a spitting sound. If you didn't hear the question beforehand, it wouldn't have gotten any like weird controversy at
So
all.
true.
Other than they've been like, what is this person saying? Like, I want to know why she's saying
Out
it.
of
And then when you
context,
hear, but then when you hear the
make
context,
sound. It was like onomatopoeia. It was like Shakespeare.
yes. I don't know about Shakespeare.
Modern day Shakespeare.
I don't know if I'll go there, but I will say it is just interesting. Like everyone, and I get we do have context, but everyone got really, really like. Everyone obviously just jumped right to the most, intimate thing she could be describing, but really she didn't say anything wrong. She's selling a bunch of merch. I want to just throw that into this conversation.
There's
Apparently,
always merch.
I love that. I love that for her. Go ahead, make some money off of this. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's her. Maybe it's someone else, but I would assume that it's her likeness, so that she's making some money off of this. But I don't think this person's gonna have any long-standing celebrity. This screams 15 minutes to me.
She does come off pretty funny.
Yeah,
I'm sure, but like this just screams 15 minutes to me.
So did you know there's a second part of this video?
No, I don't think anyone did.
Okay, so I have to play it for you. This is the second part of this, to be fair.
Okay.
Do you know what makes you wifey material?
Me, wifey?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
Explain. What's everything?
I'm loyal. This is my wife. What makes me wifey material?
What makes her wifey material?
That fat she got.
Girl, turn around. Let me see. Can we have a 360?
This flat ass girl.
Do you know what makes you wifey material?
I think she has a good sense of humor, at
I think
least.
she's hilarious.
I think she's blitzed.
Yeah.
I mean, which is fine. I'm not judging, but
she's definitely the girl that would like befriend every single chick in the bathroom, eh?
Yes, there's Cara and I know you are so right.
Yeah.
See,
Jose, I want to ask you because you smiled as without any sound. Matt just pulled up the clip and you smiled. So, have you watched this a bunch, or what's going on here?
Seen it a couple of times.
What do you think? You think that she can pull off the move? I mean, she's talking about the move, but I mean, we've heard the girls' perspective.
She looks like she had a couple of rounds doing the move. So
okay, so you think she's experienced?
I mean, I wouldn't mind finding out personally, but I mean,
okay. See, this is why we have perspectives on the show.
Another thing a lot of people have pointed out and concerned, a lot of people think, what would her parents or her dad react to such a thing?
She's grown up.
I mean,
she exists, so her dad knows all about the hawk too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kids,
right?
I mean, kids can do worse. I mean, I have parents. And they're fully aware. So,
Yeah, right. Like I said, we all know what this is insinuating, and it's just what a way to start. It's nice to have some wholesome content for once.
Well, I don't. Wholesome is a strong word there, but
in the term, it could be a lot worse. It's
and you know what?
Most people. Could be a lot worse.
I feel like most people, even though we mentioned a few, like Cara said or whatever, like talk about what would your parents think or ending feminism, apparently. But I think most people took it as like, oh, this is kind of funny, and like that's always good when something goes viral, not because it's become like an actual hellscape of an argument on Twitter, but because everybody generally agrees. It's kind of funny, at least. That doesn't get to happen that often on the tweet cap. Usually it's
so true.
We're yelling about something or someone is yelling at us. Yeah. So this is like, low stakes. Everyone, for the most part, is in agreement that, this is fun. And I love that.
Yeah.
And so thank you to Katie. I thought her name was Haley. We'll call her
Katie Vickers.
We'll call her Hawk 2. And just one word there.
She has a name, Ryan. She has a name.
But that's fine. Katie Hawk 2. Katie V. Also, you want to be on the show, Katie? Reach out at @TTweetCap. Productive Conversations on social media. We have our email in the description of this video. We'll absolutely have you on one of these panels.
Amen to that. So enough of Hawk 2 Why don't we now just switch it up? And thank you for the memories, Hawk 2 World. All right. Taylor Swift has been talked about many a times. She's been on her Europe World Tour, and there have been viral stories that haven't been cared enough to talk about. From Travis Scott being on stage with her, that's actually pretty sweet. Her having a loogie on her mouth. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I saw that. I've seen
Pretty gross.
compilations
I
on
didn't see that
TikTok.
one.
Yeah, there's been Taylor Swift's been going viral, but we needed a little break with her.
We
But
did.
this time, I couldn't ignore the story. Everybody aware of the Foo Fighters frontman David Grohl, also the drummer of Nirvana, a 2-time Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. One of the few genuine rock stars still out there, and also a beloved musician. Everybody likes David Grohl. So he's on tour right now with the Foo Fighters, and it's great to see him back on tour. And during a show, during a show on Saturday, he approaches the crowd doing some crowd work, and he said this quote. He said, quote, "I tell you, man, you don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift. So we like to call our tour the Errors Tour. We've had more than a few eras and more than a few fucking errors as well. Just a couple." And then he continued on by saying, Grohl continued to say to the crowd, "We've had errors because we actually play live." Oof, shots fired right there. And another target for Swifties to be mad at. I don't know how anybody can be mad at David Grohl. He's literally keeping a whole genre of music alive. And yeah, should people be upset with what David Grohl said about Taylor Swift?
No.
No,
Why are they?
So.
Why are the Swifties?
Why?
I could pull out.
This is
They're
what happens.
bloodthirsty. They don't even need a reason. They don't even
exactly. This is what they do. But no. First of all, I guess he did. He mentioned her name, but like that felt to me like kind of tongue in cheek. Most of that little speech was about how he and his band mess up all the time.
Yeah.
Most of that was self-deprecating. Like he made one little tiny jab. And he, by the way, never accused Taylor of like not singing. He just said like we're a live band and we perform everything live. Like I think he means like all of the backing instruments are live. All the guitars are live. The drum live. Taylor Swift 100. She has to. It's not even an insult. She has to have a backbeat play. Like she uses non-instruments. She uses in all of her songs. She uses things that are not instruments as part of the beat. So you can't have someone play those instruments if they don't exist. They have to be put over top what the rest of the band is playing. So, A, it's factual, and B, again, it really didn't feel like a serious jab at Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I feel like he was just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
They were both playing London at the same time, and so I think he was just like commenting on that, like, haha, like I'm here, Taylor Swift is here, like errors, whatever, and then just like poking fun at his own band. I don't think it was like meant to be. I don't think he gives a shit about Taylor Swift, to be honest. Like,
he definitely doesn't.
Why would he why would he start beef with Taylor Swift? Like, he's like an iconic musician. Like, why would he? And also, he's a really nice guy. Like, he's like
by all accounts
known to be like the best. I just don't see it.
I will say to the Taylor Swift fans who have been upset with us in the past as well, or me specifically, like
you're married to one. You better watch yourself.
Oh, listen, Claudia, if you're listening, this is important because I said it to her, and I'm more right now. Now it's happening in real time. I've said, and I maintain this, that as talented and as popular as Taylor Swift has gotten, there's some premature comparisons happening between Taylor Swift and other artists who are truly iconic and have truly changed music.
Like Elvis and Michael
Jackson.
Well,
yeah, that's who we mentioned before. But let's just go with the fact at hand. People are talking about David Grohl. He not only is the Foo Fighters one of the most successful rock bands of all time, Nirvana was literally, again, a pillar of the 90s. Like, they were music in the 90s. They ushered in an entire genre of music into the popular stream culture. He did twice what some artists can't even manage to do once.
Yeah, right.
He did it twice. He did it once. Tragedy happened. He picked himself up after tragedy and then just went ahead and did it again. Like, that's incredibly hard to do. So the people talking about him on the Swiftie side of this, like, learn a little bit about your music history, because you do sound like you're an idiot. You do. You sound stupid when you say these things. Like, I'm not diminishing the gazillion dollars that Taylor Swift made, and I am literally so excited about your virtual friendship bracelets, guys. I really am. My wife is making these videos. Like, it's
Tom
a real
Cruise
thing.
got one of those bracelets.
Well, he got a real one. There's a virtual one now for all of us poors who can't afford these tickets in America. But anyway, like, I love that. Do all that. Make your videos on TikTok. Get your virtual bracelet. But just be aware that he's done twice what she hasn't even come close to once. So, like, you know what I mean? Let's just hold off on the David Grohl's over party on the Swiftie camp, because you sound really stupid when you say it.
You think so? And the more I dive in and really think about Taylor Swift, and again, I think she's a staple of the 2010s movement. But in talk about, like you said, the top 5 to change music, I don't know. My opinion's kind of changed on that. Can somebody tell me what like the number
Tortured
one hit is
Poets
off?
Department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
But is that like, I haven't seen it played everywhere.
It's the one with the post. I mean, it's slow. A lot of these songs are slow, but it's the one with Post Malone, so it's getting a lot of.
It's not like us.
play.
It has like Florence from Florence and the Machine. It has
Florida,
like,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
but
it has all these like guests, like features.
We're gonna get into this, Matt, because you decided to invoke it. Just because you haven't heard Taylor Swift at the club does not make it smaller than not like
my
us.
only
We've
crotch rate-
discussed this.
and
We've
I've heard,
discussed this
but I also
quite a
hear
bit.
top 40 radio. I don't hear it. I listen to, I keep reading and stuff like that. I'm just
She's
like,
all over top 40
kicked off.
radio.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
she's
like
gotten
the
replaced
old
by
songs.
she's gotten replaced by what's her name?
Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina
no,
Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. That seems to be the pop singer of the summer, and so Taylor Swift.
Like, I feel like Sabrina Carpenter is like the hot young thing on the
Right,
scene.
that's what I mean. So this summer is
but
going
Taylor
to her.
Swift is like a fixture. She's a franchise.
Yeah, and she's still in the top, 20 songs. Like one of her, you'll still see her songs show up. But yeah, she's not the top pop star of the summer. Obviously, like you said, Matt, this is a big hip hop summer because of Kendrick. There's no denying that. The Not Like Us song is pretty consistently toward the top of the list for most played. Eminem was recently up there. I don't know if that'll last, but he's there for now. So yeah, Taylor Swift is not having the summer that she maybe thought she'd have.
Yeah,
considering how big
the album
Midnight's
is
went.
not a summer album.
It's really not.
Like,
it's a winter
who
album.
is having the summer? Chapel Roan. She's having the summer.
Oh, I love her butt.
Her life.
Love her butt or love her butt? How many T's are in
I love her and I love her butt.
Okay, both T's.
Her butt. You it.
It's.
Who is?
My mind was wrong. She's also like 5 feet tall. She's the tiniest.
Oh, she looks
so sweet. She is so perfect. Her butt, I can't stop thinking about it.
She wears
I don't understand it.
Where like from the front you don't expect it, and then she turns around. It's just,
and you're like, that is art.
That's a donk.
That's art. Yeah. No, she's gonna change shit. She really. Sabrina Carpenter, respectfully, love espresso. So cute, so talented, like truly wonderful. I'm sure she's not gonna change shit. Chapel Roan's gonna change shit.
I think she's gonna do something.
She's doing it. She's whatever she's doing it. I just hope that it doesn't. She's blown up so fast that I hope it doesn't scare her away.
She came up out of
I think
nowhere.
it will. I saw an
interview.
Did you see? I think it was with one of the Jimmys talk show.
Oh, Fallon, I think.
Yeah, I saw some clips from that, and
Actually, I could be making that up.
She seems very comfortable, and she was joking around and making him uncomfortable at points. So
that's good, because I saw a clip of her. I think it was at a show in Nashville.
Yeah,
where she was like, I just want to like let everyone know I'm like kind of struggling tonight.
I did see that clip.
Like so overwhelming. Yeah, she's like, I want to put on the best show ever. I don't want my performance to suffer, but I just want you guys to know like just how I'm feeling. And then she proceeded to slay and like didn't let it get in her way at all. But I hope that she can like, I hope that does not become the expectation for her, that even when she's struggling, she still must slay. Like, I hope that, her fans give her some grace.
Swifties would point out that Taylor does that all the time.
So we're about to see a pop star war, a female pop star war. So there was Kendrick versus Drake, and now Chaperone versus Taylor Swift. and
Chaperone.
ran a car from.
This is not a school dance, Matt.
Wait, what?
It is
what's her name?
Rowan, right?
Chapel
like a church.
Rowan. Oh,
Chapel Roan. Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a war. I think they're just making music.
Man, we got our
different.
first
Their whole
we had our
vibe is
first
so
segment being created from another segment.
At the end.
That's
Jose,
what
have you heard
happens
of
when you
any of these
invite me
people
onto your
besides Taylor
podcast.
Swift?
Nope.
I've also never heard of, actually, I was listening to TikTok, and the song was Hot to Go.
Mm-hmm.
And so is that a cover? Because I recognize that song, and I don't think that I could pick Chapel out of a lineup. So I don't know why I recognize the song, but I do. I recognize it.
I've heard it a million times, like subconsciously, and didn't even. It's everywhere.
Maybe. But I heard that on a TikTok, and I said, "Oh, who is that? I know that song." And my wife was like, "Oh, that's," and I was like, "Well, I don't even know what she looks like, other than I've seen one video, the one that you were talking about, for talking to her fans." So, yeah, I guess we'll have to follow that, Matt, and see what happens. I hope it's a pop star war, because then we can talk about it. It's always more fun to talk about a war.
Again, I'm not familiar with the work, but I'll check her out. But she's got my support, and I appreciate new talent showing what they got, and I appreciate her honesty with the audience, and then also, as quoted, slaying. So we just love pure talent like that. So keep it going.
Your talent. Her vocals are insane.
Yeah.
Truly.
All right. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. All right. Let us continue on and now talk about, once again, for the second week in a row, her name is Jordan Hudson, and she is Bill Belichick, the 8-time Super Bowl champion, greatest football coach of all time. That's his girlfriend. Bill Belichick is 72 years old. She's 24 years old. So there was actually pictures of them out and about in Nantucket. It's nice, I guess. And you know what was funny is, amongst this, her ex-boyfriend actually came out to talk with TMZ for some reason. Her ex-boyfriend happens to be a 64-year-old. His name is Joshua Zuckerman, and the two met several years ago. Like it's only 24 several years ago. Assuming
several years ago.
Exactly. So assuming everything was good, and I assume they ended on good terms, because he just randomly told TMZ how she was, quote, wise beyond her years, much more than any 20-something I've ever met in my life. And again, this literally came out of nowhere. He's trying to get on the wave, I guess, but good for him, and for Jordan as well. But amongst these reports, there are people commenting on Jordan, like, is she really into older rich men? Is she a gold digger? What is this going on? Various opinions from all these much older gentlemen coming out and expressing their time with the 24-year-old cheerleader. Interesting stuff. I have to ask, because it's been a big question and talked about, do you see her more as a gold digger or someone who's just really likes much older men?
I mean, it kind of reminds me of I don't remember the show, but this hot chick was dating this not super attractive rich guy, and he says, "You're just with me for my money," and she says, "Well, would you be with me if I was unattractive?" So I guess that's kind of the question. Like, I don't necessarily think gold digging is bad if everybody's getting what they want. Cara. Yeah, I don't see the issue with it as long as nobody's being predated on. Like,
they both know exactly what the relationship is.
Right.
She's adult. I have to say, generally, a relationship with an age discrepancy that large makes me uncomfortable, because there's such an obvious power imbalance. And
I agree. That's like my only contention. So it's like, as long as she wasn't I don't want to say pressured, but like moved into it, coerced into it, anything like that, whatever. I have an IRL friend who's kind of dating a like 60-year-old dude, and he like sends her presents and stuff, and you know, they know what they are.
Mutually beneficial relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
She's an adult. He's an adult. I'm just hoping that she is making intentional decisions for herself and that she's safe most of all. But like, if she's doing what she's doing, then go ahead.
That's the one thing that is, I guess, you could take out. At least there's a pattern here. So maybe it isn't so strange.
That's what she wants to be doing. As long as she's safe, then, you know.
All right, Jose, before I go, I need you to weigh in. Gold digger or not gold digger?
Question, what does Zuckerman do?
He's a rich businessman. That's all I have here from the TMZ article.
Oh, damn, that bitch is gold digging.
Oh.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to say. And I want someone to actually answer this. So it could be Jose, it could be Matt, because I think Matt is probably aligned with Jose on this, or someone in the comments. I'm sure they'll do it too. How is she gold digging? What is she getting out of this? I said this last week. I'm going to say it again. She's not entitled to any of his money. I mean, yeah, obviously he'll take her out on nice dates. So I guess there's that. But I mean, come on, most guys will take you out on nice dates.
Well,
guys spend more money than they have.
Would she date a guy a 60-year-old man that works at Home Depot?
It sounds like if he bought her nice things, she would.
It's being taken care of. Like the relationship I'm in right now, like he takes me out for dinner and stuff, and you know, but he's not buying me fancy clothes, bringing me on vacations, paying for the house, paying for all the utilities, getting me a car.
I don't know. I mean, listen, if we see Belichick buying cars, then fine. Then I'll say with gifts.
Cars,
but like
trips, maybe he's paying off for student loans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, if we see that, then I'll change my tune. But right now, all we know is that he's old and she's not. There's no.
But you're not going to see that.
Well, she has a new car. We'll see it, won't we?
No. You don't think she got a new car now?
No, we would have seen it. Trust me, TMZ would have run that thing first page. I'm just saying.
He's getting a beautiful girlfriend. He's getting a young girl that he can probably brag about to all his old crusty friends.
Exactly. And no, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, he's getting publicity, which you know what they say about publicity. So
he doesn't need that anymore. He's retired.
But anyway, like I'm sure to like all his old crusty friends, he's probably a legend. So
cool.
I mean,
so they're in it not because they love each other. They're in it for some financial gain. So
I guess I don't know. I just feel like gold digging to me like comes with a larger sum of money.
Yeah,
and I just don't know. I just don't know how that would apply. But yes, I guess if he buys her everything she wants for a year, then you could easily say, well, she was only in it to get everything she wanted for a year while they were together.
But
so I guess, yes.
I don't think that's taking advantage of him, though, because, I mean, he wouldn't be with her if she wasn't young and beautiful.
No, he also has a lot of money. He'll be okay.
I agree. But if homeboy, you got two 60-year-old men, one works at Home Depot and one is a former NFL coach, and you're always going to pick the NFL coach, what are you?
I mean, I think she's a gold digger. I just don't think it's bad.
Yeah, she might not be looking for love. That might not be what she's looking for, and that might not be what Bill Belichick is looking for.
I don't think it is what Bill Belichick's looking for. To be honest with you.
And I said that in the initial talk last week about the wink week. We know somebody, you know what they're here for. And again, if both adults agree, then who are we to judge? And it happens in all. It happens in all instances. In all.
Now this other guy met her a few years prior to this. That scares me.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't want to dig too deep into that.
I don't either. I'm just saying, like 20. She's only 24, so if a few years or several years is 4 years, we're in like a really bad spot. You know what I mean? 60-20 is not a So
and they met
that one.
Bill and her met at 21 when she was 21.
Right.
So.
But did they start dating it when she was 21?
Just now.
Okay, yeah.
Which is almost worse in some ways because he was waiting. I don't know. Yeah. Again, there's definitely some dodgy stuff with the age thing, regardless. But I don't know if she's playing it right. I don't. I feel like this is a weird thing. Like gifts are nice, I guess, but then you break up and you got no gifts anymore. Now you have nothing. I don't know. This feels like a half-baked idea. Apparently it happens a lot and I'm just out of the loop and that's fine. But
mean, I don't know. Maybe this is just gonna be like her thing. Or maybe not. Maybe she'll break up with Bill Belichick and be like, well, that was fun. Add that to my plot. And then she'll just like go marry the love of her life, who could be a 60-year-old man who works at Home Depot. Who's to say?
We don't know. That's
Well,
right.
I would love to see that. I would love to see
so
the
much life
60-year-old man.
left ahead of her. She could do it. She could do whatever she wants.
Bill
And
less so, but you
just-
know, she does.
Two last things on that. One, it was confirmed that it was her Newport home that he was leaving off in the ring cam. Now she had to be the one to submit that to TMZ. She had to.
Ooh, yikes!
Yeah, her literal ring cam footage.
Yeah, did you see that? You know what I'm referring to? Okay, I'll pull it really quick.
It was we actually covered it on the show. It was a while back.
This was back this was back during the football season.
Yeah.
Again, don't want to go too much deep into this, but I'll show you the clip. And I'm
it's
just
confirmed
curious
that was her home.
Yes,
like, that's confirmed. It was her home.
According to this TMZ article I'm reading, it was her home.
Ooh. That's not cool of her to do that.
But yeah, but it wasn't confirmed that she leaked it, but it was confirmed that
who would have leaked it?
I know, right?
I own a camera in my home.
Come on, but why can't she leak her own footage? Celebrities leak their own shit all the time. They call the paparazzi for photo ops all the time.
Yeah, but she wasn't in it. It was just Bill. She wasn't in that picture.
No, maybe she got his permission. Who's to say?
Okay, forgive me. This will have some Bon Jovi over it.
People do the craziest stuff all the time. Like, there are people who are like so desperate for attention, like they'll do anything.
Oh yeah, look at the Kardashians. But this is the clip that went viral. So yeah, shirtless and everything's hilarious.
Hilarious.
But and number two, this will be more interesting once we actually get into the football season, is how much this will actually be discussed. He's going to be on Pat McAfee on a weekly basis in the fall. Will this affect him getting a head coaching job next offseason, which he wants? We know a lot of people know he wants that. He's only 10 wins away from having the most wins of all time. I don't think it'll make a difference. It shouldn't make a difference. But some people are thinking
no one's gonna care.
It might. He didn't get the Falcons. He didn't get the Falcons job. Like, and that was a huge shock. The fact that they were already turned him down without anything else. That I don't know.
What if they actually did know? What if they did know?
Yeah, this is making me think like how he didn't get that Falcons job is quite literally beyond me.
Maybe they can't afford him.
Well, that's the other option.
Well, you can make it work. The salary caps NFLs are very manipulative, but that's just it's an interesting point to see throughout the season. But maybe I think it just depends on the owner. Like a Jerry Jones, I think he's wacky. He would love stuff like this. He probably has that. But I don't know. Maybe he probably has a 24-year-old girlfriend in his 80s. Or maybe a more conservative owner like John Mara, the Giants. He might think it's weird. But anyways, that's for later on. But Bill Belichick, I never expected so many pop culture stories about him.
And he's so quiet. I mean, he didn't say anything as a coach for how many years?
Yeah, now people say that was always a plea of his, like a strategy, after Deflategate. But I know what you mean, though, Ryan. You're exactly right.
Yeah, his public persona, for whatever reason, was incredibly quiet, incredibly reserved, incredibly like close to the vest. He didn't talk much at all.
Yeah,
and so the fact that since retiring, he's been on this show like 5 times as a topic of conversation is wild.
Been very funny on Pat too.
Yeah,
he's been on, but we shall move on to other things. Why don't we talk about food really quick? Food. All right.
Oh, I'm ready for this one.
So
right now.
what a great coincidence. We're talking about McDonald's on this one. Mm-hmm. So here's one thing about fast food. I feel like some people are afraid to admit they eat fast food, like afraid to admit they watch reality TV or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like there's been a stigma over the past few years. Some fast food legitimately tastes good. Now, what happens after your stomach, I mean, it can suck, but for other people, they don't mind the pain. But regardless, McDonald's did a huge move. Starting this week, they introduced a $5 meal deal. And with this on McDonald's, not a sponsor yet, hopefully someday, with this $5 meal deal, You could get a McDouble cheeseburger or a McChicken, a small fry, 4-piece nugget, and a small soft drink. And why do I bring this up? It's actually, I'm commending McDonald's. They're actually doing this because of they're actually doing this because of the just struggling economy. McDonald's made this move to help people out who are struggling. And the president of McDonald's America said, quote, "We heard our fans loud and clear. They're looking for even more great value from us. And this summer, that's exactly what they'll get," said Joel Elliger. So this is for a limited time at the moment, but I commend McDonald's for really helping us out here. And the only other reaction I've gotten since, Wendy's has added a Frosty to their 4 for $4, and that's it. But McDonald's really helping people out. I really appreciate that, don't you?
I sure do. I love McDonald's unabashedly, passionately. I love fast food. You can ask anybody. I will tear it up. I wanted it. I was driving back with my boyfriend from Connecticut yesterday. We were in the car for like 7.5 hours. I got home. All I wanted was some McDonald's. That's all I wanted in my life, to soothe the pain. McDonald's.
Me and my boyfriend play like video games till really late at night, and a lot of times we play until like 5 a.m. and then that's McGriddle hour. So then he'll go to McDonald's. He'll get like 10 McGriddles. Yeah. It's great.
I've had a lot of great,
and it's a great time, and everyone loves it, and everyone's happy and joyful. I'm right there with you.
I love McDonald's. So many great memories. See, Jose, you like
So-
McDonald's?
I haven't eaten McDonald's in so long.
You gotta
I'm
get
actually-
over there.
See,
I'm with Jose too.
we
though.
have
I
two
mean,
people, like I said, afraid to admit.
No,
it's good.
I'm not afraid. But
I'm afraid.
my choice of like fast kind of food at this point in my life is Chipotle.
That's
I'm one
not
of those.
fast food.
You show up, you get the food right
Hasn't
away.
been good for 10 years.
I know. I'm not calling it good. I'm just saying, like, I'm a Chipotle boy. That's a thing. I learned about it today. They're a real group of people, and I'm really in them.
And they're called the Chipotle Boys?
The Chipotle
Yes.
boys.
Do you have t-shirts or?
No, there's subsections. Some of them are in finance. I am not, but I'm in the other group. I'm in the other group of people. But no, in all seriousness, I'm not that I won't admit to eating, a fast casual or a fast food thing. It's just I really do, whenever possible, go to Chipotle if I'm gonna get a fast food.
Why isn't
like that.
Chipotle doing something to help their customers like McDonald's is?
They barely put meat in the burritos, Matt. What do you mean?
We talked about that. You have to
They're not gonna help
videotape
the
them.
poor.
People eat Chipotle and they're starving.
They're not even
They're
giving
actually
me.
called
I'm paying, and
Chipotle.
they're not giving me what I want. They're not gonna give it away.
That's why you have to videotape yourself doing it.
Yeah, they're not gonna give it away. They don't even want to give it to me, and I'm paying. I would say my thing with this, obviously this is great that McDonald's has seen a need amongst its customers.
Amen.
This, by the way, means that every other food business, and actually really every other business around, can drop the act.
Mhm.
It's not that everything costs too much because of the invisible hand of Adam Smith's economy. It's because people are charging too much. McDonald's saw it and said, "Oh, we're pricing too high. People aren't coming because we made it too expensive." So you know what they did? They made it cheaper. Everyone can do this.
Food has become unreasonable.
Did you guys? They're in Canada. Sobeys was like price gouging, and they got found out for it and had to like pay a bunch of money. But people were really pissed off. So then there was a steal from Sobeys day that went around like on social media. So like a month ago, a bunch of
Steal
people I
from
know went and
Sobe Day.
stole.
That's
Kind of
crazy.
funny. That's like the Area 51 thing, but actually clever.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, everyone can do this. So I don't want to hear it anymore. McDonald's is leading the way. Fine, sure, good, love it. I want to give them flowers, Matt, but like we're making it seem like they're taking a brave stand when what they're really doing is kind of outing the fact that they, along with everybody else, have simply been overcharging for 1.5 to 2 years.
It's kind of like the bars in hell, and they're like doing the bare minimum. But
I feel like they're still gonna make money off of it, anyways, just marketing wise. So I mean,
what are you saying, Jose? You disagree with me?
Is it McDonald's just copying Wendy's?
No, Wendy's added a 4 for $4 milkshake or whatever Matt just said.
No, Wendy's been doing that crap in Connecticut for the longest. A burger, fries, nuggets, and a soda. Actually,
the
and
4
Wendy's
for
does
4.
it better. Wendy's does it better for $1 more. You can enlarge it. So
Well, that's the $5.
End of valid point.
But yeah, see, same.
I can go Wendy's get a small. I can go to McDonald's and get a small. I can go to Wendy's and get a large.
The McDonald's
So
see the double cheeseburger is bigger than whatever the junior bacon cheeseburger. That's the contrary.
You're not hearing me. Yeah, I get a large soda and large fries.
So McDonald's. McDonald's is better.
No, you don't. It's $5 for a small fry, and it's those paper bags.
You don't need to have too much soda.
You just try to tell me a double cheeseburger is better than a single. Now you're telling me not.
That's right.
You know what, Matt? McDonald's is just copying, and it's limited time.
Well, guess what?
We don't have these arguments if we all just got a little bit of Chipotle.
A little bit.
The thing about though, McDonald's
creates urgency, so it'll just make people buy it. So that's just a marketing.
But McDonald's is helping. Wendy's is just there.
Wow. Everyone should lower their prices.
I love Wendy's.
Wendy's is amazing.
Dipping my fries in a Frosty. Are you kidding me? But now the people have choices. So
you know what my favorite is?
Three great choices. That's right. Everyone remember 3 great choices.
Somebody's got to step up, man.
Burger King needs to step up. What the hell happened to them?
Yeah, they really do. Yeah. I heard they are literally the most unhealthy fast food. I saw a YouTube video on it.
Burger King never hits. It's never good.
No.
I used to like the those long chicken sandwiches that I think are not made of chicken.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I've ever gotten at Burger King is the matzo sticks. If I want like very cheap matzo sticks and I can't get them anywhere else,
they're bad. They're horrible.
Oh, they're horrible.
They have those here?
But if I want
they have them
cheese,
here.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Sticks. Really?
Not at Burger King.
I want to try it.
But you like bite into it and it's like almost fucking hollow in the center and dry as a bone.
What a disgrace.
But you know, I get a little bit of cheese in my mouth for like $2, so it's fine.
Same with Chipotle, actually. Just a little bit of cheese.
More like $12.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Could everybody cook your own food? But it's the same price anyways. So it doesn't matter. Everybody enjoy your food regardless. So moving on though, what's amazing is that this Wednesday, the very best show on TV, in my opinion, is going to release its 3rd season in The Bear. The Bear season 3 drops 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Hulu. We will do a Bear-centric episode. Everybody's welcome to join for that. I will watch the whole 3rd season. I don't like the idea of them dropping 10 episodes at once. I think it's better to do it an episode per week, but whatever. So I have no choice but to binge the whole thing because of spoilers. And I'm really into film Twitter and stuff, and they will spoil it on purpose. They'll just have people DM you. So this is what happened. But right now, during the Bear, right? And obviously people are doing their press tours. You have obviously Jeremy Allen White, Ebon Moss, Ayo, all Emmy winners, all of them Emmy winners, by the way. And Jeremy Allen White was recently on Stephen Colbert's show out in New York City. And usually people are waiting for the guests after they arrive and usually ask for autographs. And I just have to point this out. At 13 million views of this one clip, let me show you what Jeremy Allen White did after the Colbert show. I might have to play this. It's only 6 seconds, so just watch carefully. But just look at this. This is why he's awesome. Look at this. Right? All right. Look at him signing autographs right here. Look at that.
Can my friend get a picture? We're going to slide.
All right, you see that? I'll play one more time.
Can me and my friend get a picture?
Okay. Did you just see that autograph?
I did. So I'll say this in his defense. Obviously,
I don't have a problem with this, by the way.
Yeah, everyone knows. Like, I cover wrestling a lot on the show with Jose. I'll do some stuff on the side with it, professional wrestling. And those people are not even pretend Jeremy Allen White famous by and large, with a few like generational exceptions, like John Cena as an example. And so there will be videos of people who will go up to these wrestlers and they will have stacks upon stacks
of
merchandise. And, well, that's what we just watched. Everyone had the exact same thing. They had 6 of those things. Now, if it were me, I'd do one signature on one item for one person, and then I would leave. Obviously, Jeremy's not taking the time to do that, and so he's found the other way to get out of spending your entire day signing things for people who are just going to try and sell it, which is literally don't sign it.
Yeah.
Just go like
That's a
this
squiggly
and
line.
move on. And then if they try and sell it as your signature, then they can certainly go ahead and try and do that online. But you get enough people saying, I'm not paying, $900 for a squiggly line calendar, they'll eventually stop asking you. So I think this is a long-term strategy to stop the people who are trying to sell.
Yeah, the autograph
items that you
hounds.
sold. Yeah, the autograph hounds, exactly. And
I was
again,
gonna ask what the context was, if it was like a signing, like event where he would anticipate having to sign some stuff, or it was like people just pestering him in the street.
Those are people, and that wasn't even just fans pestering, because sometimes fans can get overzealous and want something signed too, and that's different because yes, obviously they can be annoying, but they are fans and they want their item signed because they are a fan. Those people were those people were very clearly not that by and large. I'm sure there were a few, but most of the people on that line had 900 things. And they wanted all of it signed so they could sell all of it and make money. That was the point.
I'm all for it. All for it.
It's brilliant. I love it. That's why I say he's the vid.
No, that was a great.
No, you can't sell it.
Yeah, well, no one's gonna buy that because anyone could do that.
He too could go in a Looney Tunes direction and just sign an X for his name.
Man, that's he's a man. He's great. And really excited for season 3 of The Bear. And like I said, we will definitely break that down at some point this summer. All right, let's continue on. So it was recently announced that the Shrek franchise is coming back. It was announced in a recent interview that Eddie Murphy said that Shrek 5 is in the works. He is recording his lines at the moment, and there will be a spinoff, a donkey movie. So Ryan brought this to my attention, and I appreciate it. And I will check it out. I'll see it. I think the 4th movie sucked. It's nice to try again. You might as well do it. You might as well continuing these animated franchise that are decades long now. Shrek 1 came out in 2001. And if it comes out on time, 24 years will be the 5th installment. I saw the first Shrek in theaters. But at the same time, I both am excited. I'm gonna sound contradicting, but I'm excited, but also think who cares? The trailer really has to hook me in. And Ryan, I also just want to ask, are you specifically really excited for it? You would have brought it up. Do you think this would be a game changer? What do you say?
No, definitely not a game. I brought it up because we just saw that Inside Out 2 movie, which I've heard is mid, by the way.
Really?
But I've heard the hockey scenes are top tier though.
Yeah, I mean I don't know much about it. But what I do know is it's officially surpassed Dune 2. So
really?
It's in terms of the money that it's made. So
yay.
And then the same day that happens, we find out Shrek 5 and Donkey are coming. So I think we're at a point where we'll never make an original idea ever again
from a major studio.
Why not?
Yes, there will always be indie people or
A24 and Neon, and
they'll always try their best. But by and large, all of the main guys are going to be doing this nonsense over and over again. I do think they have a strong opportunity here to call it Shrek 5 Ogre the Hill. Talk about he's old, right? Make it about him old. He wants to, that's great.
You could write a letter, Ryan.
I could.
Get in there.
I'm actually available to write the entire thing. It sounds like they already have someone, but you could fire them and I'll do it for cheaper.
Yeah, so true.
So there's that, but also, Matt, you said the Donkey movie, and I don't know that that's the name of the movie with Donkey, but it really should be. I think that's a great name for a movie as well. No, in terms of game changer, the cinema of it, probably not. If I had to put money on it, but I was a fan of the original.
Avatar.
What do you mean, the Avatar?
Avatar: The Last Airbender or Avatar James Cameron?
No, James Cameron Avatar. What if they make it an immersive Shrek experience?
I have a friend who's obsessed with Shrek. She goes to a Shrek rave in Vancouver every single year. She throws a Shrek party every single year, and you have to dress up as a character to go. So
someone call Reagan and Oscar.
Have a great time.
They already have the costume.
They do. They have the dragon costume. Yeah,
a dragon and donkey.
But no, I don't think this is going to be a game changer, Matt. I do think it'll do well, and this will just reinforce. our unfortunate Groundhog Day existence where we just see the same movie over and over again.
That's part of like I feel like one of the most original animated movies I've seen in a while is Nimona. Did you ever see that?
Nimona? Is that
Nimona? It's on Netflix. It's really good, and the animation's insane, and it's totally unique. It's a cyberpunk medieval future world.
Cool.
It's very. It's really cool. I mean, part of the reason I am so into anime over like more Western animation is because like, what does Western animation have to offer me? Like, there's some good shows, but
you'll appreciate the Studio Ghibli, right?
Oh,
the Boy and the Heron. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually haven't seen Boy and the Heron, but just because I haven't watched a movie for a little while.
Gotta get in there.
I've seen every other Studio Ghibli film except for that one.
No, it lives up to the hype. It's so good.
There's also gonna be a Toy Story 5 June 19th, 2026.
That is enough.
Ready?
You can say the same about Shrek too.
Ready? Toy Story 5. The toys are back in town.
But where are you gonna go?
I'm available.
Where are you gonna go with the story? Where do you go with the story? And spoilers for they broke up or they drifted off into other ways. Woody and Buzz.
Not Buddy.
Jesus.
It is crazy though. Girl now, right? Or am I a movie behind?
Right, and then she's gonna grow up, and then they'll go to like another kid.
I know that you just wonder how they're gonna pull this off, but I trust the writers. That's all you could do. They somehow pulled off Toy Story 4 and even made it more emotional and better.
Wait, which one's Toy Story 4?
You never saw Toy Story 4?
How does
I just explained it. We have him finding Bo Peep. They go to the carnival break. It doesn't seem like you saw it.
Is the fork in that one?
Yeah, Forky.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that one. Okay, we're good. Caught up.
I will say though, the evolution. If you've seen the very first Toy Story and compare the animation Toy Story 4, it's insane.
Forget it.
The technology they've created, and that's the very first movie I saw, and it's really bizarre that Toy Story 5 will be 31 years after Toy Story
original. So
that's something to take and have the same cast too.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say just quick though. What do we think? We'll just go quickly. Shrek 5 or Donkey? What's gonna be the better movie?
Donkey.
Shrek 5.
Donkey.
I feel like most of the time when they make standalones about like separate characters, they don't do well. The only one that I can think of that was really good was that Puss in Boots standalone.
About animation wise,
for those Puss in Boots movies, they love Puss in Boots, but Donkey's like the backbone of the franchise. Like Shrek is the main character, but Donkey is the essence.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I do wonder like. Are they going to purposely cut Donkey down in Shrek 5 to save Donkey for the standalone? Because if so, I think that will significantly hurt the Shrek 5 movie.
That would be a bad move for Shrek 5.
But if they don't do that, if he's a big part of Shrek 5, I bet you, it'll have everybody in it. So I feel like it'll obviously be the movie people are most interested in. But it really depends on how they use Eddie Murphy.
A curious thought. I'm personally the most excited for Freaky Friday too.
Now that I saw today, they released. They started today. There's going to be Freaky Friday 2 coming out next year. Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are both back. I am really excited for that.
That's
fun. Yeah!
Wait, are they going to switch again? How does that work?
They have to.
They confirmed that they're in production.
Maybe it's Lindsay Lohan's daughter. That's what
I was thinking. I'm for that. That would be so sweet.
It's actually a remake from another movie too. So. Freaky Friday series version? Yeah.
Wait, you're saying the original had a series?
No, it was a remake. The
original one was a remake, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Lindsay Lohan.
And Haley Mills, that was the Parent Trap. It was Jodie Foster, the original.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I knew that. I'm saying, is there an original Freaky Friday 2?
No.
Okay, so this is brand new. This is totally them. Yeah. Like totally the current writers. There's no source material other than the original Freaky Friday, which is the source for the first Freaky Friday.
There's also Little Dicky's Freaky Friday.
Which, if they can work that in, get Chris Brown into the SWAT, perhaps, that could be an interesting way to go.
My thoughts on Little Dicky. I like his show, Dave, but man, that dude relies too much on celebrity cameos.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, who wouldn't?
I mean,
it's way easier.
Yeah,
Choose
it's
other
really
people's
talented
fame, right?
people wouldn't. Really talented
well, I
people don't
guess,
have to
yeah.
rely. That's my gripe. That'll be decided another day. Okay, so I have this new cool series we're gonna try today. So I love talking about dating and dating dynamics. I'm gonna not show one, but 4 examples of viral clips surrounding the world of dating, all completely different. Everybody's getting criticized. Everybody's getting praised. Obviously, again, dating, love. We know the gist, but a lot of people have lots to say about it. So I'm going to show 4 different stories that went viral for different reasons regarding it. So here's our first dating story. This is a Instagram one, and this is a girl before and after a date. Her name is Danielle Walter. Let us see how she did and why she went viral with this. All right, ready? Let's ride. And don't look at the comments for spoilers.
On Hinge, I know nothing besides he's good looking and Christian.
Okay, let me read. All right. Here it is. Let's find out what Danielle experienced. On my way to
on Hinge. I know nothing besides he's good looking and Christian. This is what I'm wearing. And I'm very excited. I'm actually not nervous. I feel like I used to think first dates were so scary. But then I realized that I'm confident in who I am, and it's really just getting to know someone and deciding if you want to be around them again. So there's no nerves. I'm really hungry.
I'm here early, so I'm hiding in the bathroom.
That well.
That did not go well.
Why?
Very nice guy. Very sweet, very handsome, very attractive, very successful. But I feel like I was just like talked at for the last 2 hours. The dinner was great, but I was just like talked at. Okay, not compatible. On to the next.
All right. Tell me your initial thoughts, everybody, about Danielle's experience. Should excuse me. Tell me what you think and her reaction. How do you feel about this?
I feel like he probably, like she said, if she said he was like really nice, if he didn't give off like any red flags while talking at her, I feel like he might have just been very anxious sitting in silence and was awkward with the conversations. So, I mean, maybe they're not compatible if she like really has an issue with that, but I don't think he's bad for that necessarily. I think like I've been talked at on dates, and sometimes it's like, oh, they probably have ADHD, and sometimes it's like they barely see me as a human being.
Mm-hmm. I think I think it just depends on the vibe, and like you can tell, like I've been on dates, and like I've got a big personality. I talk a lot, so I have to always monitor myself when I'm meeting someone new to make sure that I'm not like yapping so much. But you have to be able to sense the vibe of like, is this man talking because he's nervous or ADHD or something, or is he actually just simply hearing himself? And like, if you're a woman and you've been on enough dates, or even a man and been on enough dates, you kind of learn the difference. And I'm hoping that for her sake, it was the latter of him just wanting to hear himself. And that's why she's not giving him a second date.
Yeah.
But it's a tough situation to be in.
What do you think, Jose?
What does she mean by talking up?
Like when you go on a date and you talk about yourself and your life, you ask no questions about her, and you leave the date basically knowing nothing because she didn't say anything except nod her head
the whole time. Like he did not invite her to engage in a dialogue with him. He was simply talking, like monologuing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody likes him. That could be too. Nobody likes a monologuer like that. That I won't blame her. Again, I wasn't there. She was really excited, very pretty, but I can understand if somebody's talking too much and it just feels like you're getting interviewed instead of having a conversation.
Well, not even interviewed, because she said if she didn't talk, he probably didn't really ask her much, just talk about himself.
Yeah, not listening to. Ryan, your turn.
I was gonna say what struck me more than I think you guys have all covered the gambit of the talking too much thing, but she just seemed really deflated at the end, like the end half of that video.
Exhausted,
And so like
she was disappointed.
And so that's what and I mean, I don't want to judge anybody, because I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but just as like maybe as a general rule, and I'm sure this is like easier in practice or easier in theory than in practice. I'm fully aware of that. But like, and the last thing she said was on to the next one. So there was a little bit of an uplifting like thing there, but like, don't, regardless of which way it was, whether it was just dude talking because he liked to hear himself talk, or he was filling space because he didn't know what to do with the space, right? And he was nervous or anxious or whatever. Regardless of which of the two it ends up being or ended up being, like, just kind of just deep breath. It's date one, right? I get like there's a lot of pressure with dating, but it's date one. Not compatible is not compatible. The reason doesn't matter that much, especially on date one. You know, you're not, 5 dates in, 10 dates in, and all of a sudden you're like, this is a huge red flag. Yeah, that's going to bum me out pretty hard, like, for sure. But date one, I don't think anyone should leave date one feeling the way that she looked like she was feeling. But I don't know if that's because of him.
I've been there.
Or if that's just because there's so much pressure on herself with dating or whatever. And if it's the second one, if it's the first, then I can't do anything about that. But if it's the second, then I would say the advice is just like, kind of frame that perspective when you go on a first date. Like, this is a stranger who I met for the first time. This could be a great conversation or something less than great, but it's still me talking to a stranger. You know what I mean? Like, it's not more than that, and it won't be more than that until tomorrow when I respond, right? It becomes more than that the next day. The first day, it's literally strangers talking. So I would hope that people don't feel quite so distraught after a bad first date like that. But that's honestly what struck me for the entire thing, was how distraught she seemed.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been that bad.
Well, sure, yeah, I wasn't there, but
and like she could have just had experiences like that with like a bunch of guys before, and she's just like tired of it, like, you know.
Right. That's the thing, though, and that's the pressure with these first dates, especially from online. You feel like you have to be perfect at this point. I don't.
So how
I
long
feel
have been
like,
talking?
I don't know. She didn't say. Just recent. I just
Wow.
feel like she could at least give him one more chance, at least.
No, I mean, if you're not compatible,
but should you find compatibility off the first date? I'm asking a question. Like right away?
Yeah, there should be a little bit more than not. If you leave saying not compatible, I think that's different than saying I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there should be at least ambiguity.
Fair enough. I understand where you're coming from. All right, let's go to the next example. So we have here from TikTok, we have her name is Kate with a C, Kait. We have here ranking the 4 most humbling texts I've received from guys I've dated in New York City. All right, I gotta say, these dudes suck. I'm gonna do that. All right, here we go. So here's a slideshow right here. We could see. All right.
Number 1 is brutal.
Number 1. So these are texts that she got after the date. Number 1. Guy says here, and those listening, I hate to do this, but would you mind if I requested you for some of last night? ? I wasn't expecting you to order so much. Jesus Christ. That's number 4. All right. Next one. Number 3. She reached out and said, I wish you all the best out there, and thank you again for the drinks. So it looks like it is a no more text. He is closing the door. He responds with, not sure why you felt the need to send this. I wasn't going to ask you out again. Okay.
Yes, he was. Sorry,
that was a butthurt man. That's a butthurt man right there.
Definitely. Number 3. He asks, what's your Venmo? She responds with it. And he says, I requested you for last night's dinner. Advice moving forward. If you know you're not interested, you should offer it a split. It's common courtesy. All right, and then number one. We can all break that down shortly. This is the last one. This is what he sent to her. He said, "Hi, Kate. I had an amazing time getting to know you, but I don't think we're a long-term match. I would love to be friends. I would usually never ask this, but I think your roommate is really gorgeous, just like you. Would it be crazy for me to ask you to introduce me?"
Oh my God.
All right, I understand this.
Oh, wow.
That's just crazy behavior.
Which one's the one should we break that? Should this one first?
I want to ask Jose, number one.
For this number one.
Is it ever okay? You're a single guy. Is it ever okay to pull that?
Not okay, but would I try it? Probably.
Fair enough.
I mean, I gotta shoot your shot, right? Like the worst you can do is make a TikTok about it. So.
Right?
It's not like I'm gonna see her again. Might as well shoot my shot and see where it goes.
Fair enough. I suppose.
I understand that. The Venmo one, what's your Venmo? I thought that was a really bad response. I requested you for last night's dinner. Advice moving forward: if you're not interested, you should offer to split. It's common courtesy. All right. We've talked about this and it's been asked about splitting on the first date. My vote is the person who asks the person out should pay for it. Most of the time it's the guy. I think that's just the guy should be aware that's, for lack of a better word, the risk in meeting somebody new, that you will pay for a whole dinner and you may or may not meet again. I've heard a stand-up comedian. So he said dating and gambling is the two things in this world that you could pay for and you might not get what you expect back. That was so true. So,
that's true.
I mean, what a butthurt man on that one. And we'll talk about the other butthurt guy. But, I mean, I'll ask again. What's the rule with splitting the date or not?
I mean, I think like what you said, whoever asks pays. I think that's fine. I prefer to split just because I feel awkward having people pay for me.
I don't want there to be any pressure.
Yeah. If they insist, they're like, no, come on, I got this. Then sure, yeah. But like, I'm always gonna try and pay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want there to be any reason for any man to be saying anything to me, any of that. No.
Like what this guy did.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I don't have to because I do have a loving boyfriend. But before I did, I was not trying to get in any of that.
Yeah, and what I do, I actually, I don't date as much as I used to, but when I do in the future times, I will say like, hey, before we go into this, I would like to ask, is it okay if I take it from the start? So we don't have that awkward time of the date where we don't know who's paying. I usually just say from off the rip, hey, may I take you out? And they can agree or not to that. And we all would get this. But yeah, number 3, with her, explaining that it's not compatible. And he responds to it, not sure why you felt the need to send this. I wasn't going to ask you again. I think it's fair to say that he let his feelings out. He was very upset.
That's
with a rude response.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a lot. Because if, like, truthfully, and I mean, obviously, we know I haven't dated in forever, but, like, even outside of dating, like, if I have an awkward text that I need to send, and then the person I need to send it to beats me to it, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I don't ever say, I don't ever say, like, you never say it, right?
Yes.
Like if I have to text someone and I'm really not looking forward to it, and then they text me the bad news too, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, no worries. Like I'm instantly grateful because I didn't have to do it. So if I was really not
want to cancel plans, and then the other person cancels first, and you're like,
exactly. So if I really was on a date with this person and I really was not going to ask her anything again, like even if my plan was to ghost her, right? Which we've talked about ghosting a gazillion times on the show. We'll probably talk a gazillion and one more. Even if that was the original plan, and when I got that message, I would be like, thank goodness. I don't have to worry about this anymore. And I respond with, totally get it. Best of luck out there. That would be the response. And anyone who says that's not the response you'd give if you were actually not into someone is wrong. So the only reason you send the message he sent is because you thought it went really well. You thought there was going to be another date. And when you found out there wasn't, the fragile masculinity so many of us have when we're on our dating apps cracked just a bit, and they let out a nasty little comment.
Crying while he was texting.
I mean, he probably wasn't crying. He was probably quite angry.
I was crying.
again, probably quite
or just don't say anything at all at that point. Then you could go.
Yeah, you could ghost. I suppose if they're like, yeah, not compatible. You're not at that point. You know that nothing's coming of it. If you really have nothing nice to say, then you don't say anything at all, right? So I guess you could do that logic. But again, if I was really not gonna ask somebody, my head, I'd be jumping up and down. I'd be like, this was perfect. I didn't even have to be the bad guy. I didn't have to make anyone sad. They did it for me, and I get to move on. But I don't know. Am I wrong, Jose?
You're right, I guess. I probably would just said okay, thanks.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, like, thumbs up. Or you just do the like.
I only give a crap about getting the last word in, to be honest.
So, but the last word doesn't have to be mean, right? It could just be like, okay.
No, it could be a thumbs up, whatever, but they tend to try to text back with some bull crap trying to get the last one. It's like a back and forth until someone gets blocked.
Right. And then similar to the number 2, I hate to do this, but would you mind if I requested you for someone last night, wasn't expect you to order so much? Same thing. Be aware of what you're doing.
That's just a bizarre thing to say to somebody.
I was going to say this, though, and I didn't say it in the last one. I didn't say it in the last one, but I'll say it now because those are basically the same thing for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Like, pick a cheaper date.
Yeah, that's true.
My wife and I's first, like, real date, like, obviously we were friends, so it's kind of... Not Chipotle. That was not cool. I only take people I really care about to Chipotle. But no, it was a coffee date. We just got coffee. You know how cheap coffee is?
For first dates are perfect.
Yeah.
Coffee or drink.
Yeah.
As the date.
Easy to talk. Cafe's got a good vibe.
And get dinner, then but like that's such a great start.
I agree. Don't go on a first date directly to dinner, in my opinion.
I wouldn't. It's
unless you don't mind if you get ghosted after the meal you have. So
right, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're Bill Belichick and you're buying everybody cars and stuff, then sure, go for it, right? But
there you go, indeed. Okay. The next one, this is just funny. This time we're going to a guy this time. He said, quote, the video says, her ex was so toxic and disrespectful, so I'll make sure to treat her right, is what he said. So let us see what happens here with this guy named Ameko. Lesson learned. Okay, so we can see one more time for the clip. He's showing some chivalry. So showing some chivalry, you know, opening the seat for her, and then it looks like he got ghosted or something. I like the edit. I thought it was a beautiful end.
I see
first date or
I don't know.
I see this exact TikTok format posted all the time, and it's just the comment section's always filled with guys going like, yeah,
you're
this
too
is
nice.
why you're too nice. You can't treat women like that. You have to treat them like what they want. Like it's because you've been
doing that.
Yes, that's what this thing is. I see these TikToks all the time.
My God.
Very much people react that way. Still, again, that's a compatibility thing. We weren't there for that. So
like, so like next girl that you've been go on a date with and you hear she had a toxic relationship, be more toxic. That's what the message is.
Yeah.
Those guys need to have their internet privileges revoked. Like, get out, touch grass, stop.
Can I ask a question at the risk of upsetting people?
Yeah.
To the two single guys, have you ever found on a date with someone that they wanted you, like truthfully, like obviously the implication that this person has given is that he needed to be more alpha, more assertive with this woman. He was far too kind. That's how he took her not reciprocating the way he wanted to. Have you ever been on like a true ass date with someone who was actually like vocally looking for you to be a bit more alpha than you had, like you were being? Is that actual feedback you've ever received from a date?
I mean, nothing comes to mind with me, but again, that's just a compatibility thing. I don't think that matters at some point how someone's get treated. What? Some people want to be treated like shit. Some people want to be treated like the world.
I don't think anybody wants to be treated like shit.
If you're on dating apps,
what I mean, no. Let me finish. What I meant by that is, okay, maybe wrong choice of words, but it's a compatibility thing on how you and that one person are, no matter how the vibe or the treated stuff. So no, nobody asked me to be a dick from the start. And I wouldn't want.
Well, I said alpha. I don't want to. I want to derive the difference between those two.
Yeah, when you say alpha, like you can be a very masculine, like alpha guy, and still be very kind and chivalrous to women, even if you've had bad experiences with them.
Yeah, definitely. And again, that's my thing. Forget the alpha, the beta, the zeta, the iota,
the kids are
lambda.
saying sigma these days.
Yeah,
sigma.
What I'm saying is, when it's you and the person, whether you're gay, straight, trans, lesbian, bisexual, demisexual, pansexual, it's you two in the moment. That if you two are going to have that connection, however your personalities match, that's how it's going to work out. Whether you prefer a more alpha person, whether you prefer a more beta person, or laid back or charismatic, that's what matters. The thing that I've learned, and I'm getting these stuff sent to me all the time, at the end of the day, and people throughout history have seen this, it's between you and your potential lover and how you react. So it doesn't matter, and the compatibility part, and whether some people are more patient to grow that compatibility or they want it right away. That's what matters in the moment. And the only dating advice that I've heard that matters, and I will take the rest of my life, and it probably will solve most of the questions we're trying to figure out. Can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's simple as that. And whether you meet that person when you're 18, whether you meet them when you're 25, whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That's what matters. Some people find love earlier than others. Whether that's fair or not, that's just life. The most important thing is you. So that's what I have to say for the rest of my life. Yes, I'm a single person right now. And whether I meet my person tomorrow, next year, 5 years, if it is in 40 years, then that's a lifelong journey that will be sweet at the time. But all I can control is me. And whoever I meet out there, I'm really looking forward to it because I don't know what they look like yet. And that's what at least pushes me forward. So whenever it happens, I look forward to it and I hope I'm ready. And I feel like from my past relationships, I've learned a lot. And that's why I went through them for whatever reason. So that's what I have to say there. Jose,
I felt like you had a different answer and I kind of want to hear it.
I mean, like Matt's right in a certain point in the real world, sure. But in the world of online dating, I don't know how the two girls, if they've been on online dating, and it's a different ball game. There's a reason why Matt's single if he believes in that, and you're trying to meet a girl on Hinge. Girls on Hinge are either damaged goods or have no time but to date online, and then you have to be male dominant.
So, but I'm saying you've received that feedback that people are looking for you to take charge. I'm not even going to go with like being a dick or whatever. I'm not. I don't think that you ever have to.
There's a difference being male dominant and being controlling and assertive to the situation, because girls like some. No offense to women, most women, 50% of women, you ask them what they want to eat, they don't know. They like a guy that knows what they want, right?
Okay, so that's different than being a dick.
Or I can be a dick and be like, you could have lost 5 pounds on that dress. You look all right. That's being a dick.
Yes, no, I would agree.
And to be fair, some people actually like that. To be fair,
some
people
like that.
I feel like that is maybe 0.0001% of the population or less, and it's a
I've met people who like being controlled like that.
And Hinge,
so maybe it is at 0.00.
It's not a reason where they think they like it, but it's something deeper that they need to resolve within themselves. And
that could be true
it's
too.
Either a fetish or they have issues.
Fair points for all of this. The point is everybody's different.
Whatever the reason is, everybody's on there because, let's be honest, when you're online dating, you're single for a reason. Every one of us. Even me, Matt, everybody. We're all single or cheating. Exactly. Whatever the reason is, you're on that, there's something with you. And whatever it is, if you realize what it is or not, that's the difference, right? It's like, I'm with this girl on Hinge now. I know what her issue is. I know I have to be dominant. So when you were asking, this topic is kind of going with my current relationship, I have to be dominant. She has no time in her hands. So when we go out to eat the dinner, I'll ask her what she wants. She'll be like, I don't know, whatever you want. I can sit there and be like, whatever you want, babe. And we're gonna go back hour. We're gonna be going back and forth for like an hour just to find out we want some Spanish food, Mexican food, or whatever, a Chipotle for all I give a crap.
Are you dating Brian?
It's quick. Huh? Cheap date.
So now I just be like, we gotta do this, this, and this. Let's get it done.
No, and actually, that is so much more appreciated than you probably realize, because I don't know about anyone else here or anyone else listening, but I personally cannot tolerate having to be the one to make the decisions all the time. Like, it is so nice for someone to be like, let's go out to eat. Like, what do you want? And when you say like, oh, I don't care, whatever, and then they pick something, it's like a miracle. Keep doing that, Jose. Keep doing it.
And I used to be the type to be like, well, whatever just to please the other person, and be like, whatever you want. And we're there for like an hour. By the time I'm like, I'm not even hungry no more.
Exactly. Or you're hangry, and then it's worse because then everyone's just bickering.
And me and my boyfriend kind of, we just go back and forth and do everything under the sun. Like, sometimes he'll say, I'm giving you 5 options, pick one. Sometimes he'll do it to me. Sometimes I'll say, I don't know what I want. He'll say, I don't know what I want. And we'll sit there for 2 hours until we're starving and nothing's open.
That happens.
Or sometimes I'm like, what do you want? And he'll just pick something. Sometimes, I don't know. We have no consistency with that at all.
At all.
Yeah. But as we can see, there's very much different perspectives, and everybody's relationship in person is different.
I was just going to say, though, to cap this off, because no one has said it yet, and I think it's important. The only wrong lesson to learn from that is that you needed to up the toxicity. That's the only incorrect. That's the only incorrect lesson. That's what I'm saying. Even Jose, who said you have to be dominant, was there. There's a very clear difference between Jose saying the person I'm seeing is busy. She doesn't want to have to add our dates to her mental load. So I say, I'm going to pick you up at this time. If you're free, we're going to go out to here to get food. And that works in that relationship, but there's nothing disrespectful about that. That's just, again, it's more dominant. Sure, you're not ceding ground.
Like what we consider to be dominant. I think that dominant now
dominant has a negative
connotation that's like that's not even that's just being like taking action and initiative.
So that's why I wanted to be like, so just be clear, like you pulling the chair out on the date, right? That was not the problem.
Yeah, like
I don't know what the problem was.
The TikTok is literally just saying be toxic, because it says like
that was not the problem.
You were nice to her. Lesson learned.
Yeah, the problem was
the lesson is don't be nice.
But you know what? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'll open my girl's door.
Yeah,
when we're going to the car, I'll open it. She'll always tell me, like, you don't have to do that. Nah, I want to do that. I know I have to do crap. I just do it because I want to.
Well, and I let her know that point. And that goes to Matt's point. Like, if you're that person, then you should do it. And if for some reason that really doesn't click with the person you're with, then that's what happened.
That's fine, and you move on.
But the only lesson that is wrong is unfortunately the lesson that the person shared within the video. And so I just wanted to make sure we didn't move on from that video without someone articulating that.
Very true. Got to drive that one home for sure.
Amen. Good work on that. All right, two more. And then that'll be that. But this is a little long, but I want to hear this. I want everyone to hear this story about this guy's recent date named Derek Todd. And let us hear about a recent dating experience Derek experienced. All right, let's break it down.
Doesn't end how you think.
So wait for the end, because it doesn't end how you think. Here we go.
So I went on my first actual in-person date this previous weekend for the first time in literally years, maybe since like COVID happened. And it went amazing. The girl was super cute. She was super sweet, super caring. It went awesome. We went for drinks. I picked her up from her house. When it was done, to take her home, I thought, that's it. Not sure if she's into me or not. She asked if I want to see where she worked. Yeah, absolutely. I was totally into this chick. You know, any more time I got to spend with her that night, the better. So we literally ended up driving to see where she worked in a small town and just drove around town talking, at which point she initiated holding hands. I don't remember the last time I held hands with someone. It was amazing. At which point, a little while later, she initiated a first kiss. I don't try to hold hands or do the first kiss on first dates because as a dude, I just don't want to come off as overbearing or creepy, right? So like, I was on cloud nine. My life was just, I was so happy, right? So we just drove around holding hands and talking and getting to know each other, and it was unreal. Eventually I took her home, dropped her off. She kissed me goodbye. I was again on cloud nine. I had an hour drive home. Totally worth the trip. Super amazing. We text until late into the night, like 1 a.m. Started texting again the next day, and this is where it gets super screwed up and why I give up on dating. Around 2 o'clock, that was my last text with her. Everything was good. Everything was fine. Gone. Ghost. Ninja vanish. That was 3.5 days from her. I've sent multiple texts. I've heard nothing in return. And I'm just at the point of I'm completely lost. I'm literally gutted. I know it's one date, but I was totally into this girl. It's been a long time since I connected with someone and had them reciprocate that just to be gone. And it's like, what happened? Did someone in the family die? Did she change her mind for some reason? For some reason I don't know about? Did she die? I try to think of the obvious things maybe something came up, but at the same time I'm gutted because no response. If you're not interested, fine. And online dating, I'm used to people on matching and bailing and ghosting all the time before you even meet. It is what it is. But to actually meet and connect and do the hand holding and the kiss and all that stuff and then just disappear, it's weird. Is that not weird to me? I think it's freaking weird. So I don't know what you guys can give your opinion, but I'm just absolutely lost. And if I can go on a date with someone like that and have all the perfect things happen on the perfect date and still get ghosted, why the hell am I even trying to bother date anymore? Because at this point, what's the point? What a waste of time. I do not miss feeling like I do right now, where the pit of my stomach is all curled up, where it's like, what did I do wrong? Why does no one that I want ever want me? And maybe something did happen and I don't know about it and I'll hear from her in a week or two, but how hard is it to take a couple seconds to just even text someone and say, hey, I'm not interested. Hey, you know what? I had a great time. Or hey, something happened with my family. I'll text you in a week or something. There's just a lot of shit going on. Totally understandable. But at this point, it's I'm just lost. I'm lost. I'm still on the dating apps, but this is why I don't go on dates. This is why I don't put myself out there. This is why I just don't feel feelings sometimes, because what's the damn point? I mean, I'm sure a lot of you can relate, but yeah, I'm over it, guys.
Oh, poor Derek. Poor Derek. Jose, I saw you smile at some laughs. I'd like to hear your perspective first.
No, I smile because it just happened to one of my boys recently.
Damn. So yes.
And you know him too.
Do I?
Mm-hmm. So he takes a girl to the movies. We were at a concert. Actually, the concert I told you with Sabrina, whatever her name is. Went to, she sucked. Went to the concert. Well, she went to the concert, met her at the concert, whatever. She was feeling him, putting an arm around his shoulder, whatever. They decided to go meet the next day, that Monday. The concert was on Saturday. They went bowling and went to go eat. Everything was straight. They talked the whole night away, talking about stupid things. Next day, she totally ghosted her. Totally ghosted him. She had the attachment style. I figured it out. So it's definitely that.
I mean, it's just never okay to do that. I get people have mental health issues. People might be overwhelmed. People might have fear of commitment or whatever. It's just not okay. It's just not.
Even just send one last message explaining a little bit, so they're not questioning it for weeks after.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, but
don't get it.
But that's you all understand that in their perspective, it's easier to run and let it go than manning up and being like, kind of facing the music.
Oh yeah,
okay.
it's still just wrong.
Yeah, it's still not okay. I feel really bad for old Derek.
Yeah, and then it's also just it gives these doubts for people and why they want to give up. That's a one also thing next to you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Just don't give up on it.
Well, yeah, I was gonna make it a habit, not comment everything that everyone else has said. Obviously, it's wrong that she didn't respond or whatever. But when he mentioned the part about, and we've talked about this on this show too, both like people's actual opinions, like guests we've had on the show, and then obviously clips that we've seen that have gone viral on TikTok of people in like tears over these relationships or whatever, and like, is it worth it? And I guess not for everybody. There's plenty of people who live happy lives, single. And so I'm not saying everybody has to, but like usually I have very little to contribute, but I think in this particular case, I do have something to contribute because I went on a date with one of my closest friends in college. For those of you well, hold on, let me finish. So for those of you who have tried that before, right, you know that obviously it could go really well, or it could like blow up your friend group pretty spectacularly. If you're all friends with the same people and you guys are together and then suddenly you're not together anymore, then I mean that could blow up your entire social circle. You're in the middle of college. I would happen to be away from home too. Like that was not a lot of these dates, these one-offs that you're having on Hinge, they're pretty low stakes, guys. I'm gonna say this is tough love, and I'm sorry. It's low stakes. Yeah, you drove an hour to go see her. No, hold on.
No, I laugh because you're 100% right.
But you drove an hour to go see her small town, right? You drove an hour to go see your small town, right? Like again, some people end up falling for like their childhood friends. Or their best friend. Well, okay, maybe, but
that's a tough one.
So, like, pretty low stakes on some of these things. So, if there's people out there who are able and willing to risk big on someone they care about, you should be able to do a first date, and it might not work out. There's no guarantee that any of it works out, but like,
there's probably a good chance it won't work out too. I think people should realize that. Don't let that discourage you, but there's a more likely chance that it doesn't work out than it does. So might as well have much fun as you can with it.
Right. My point was that there's plenty of risk involved with it, but you just sometimes, if you like somebody, you go for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no other way to put it. You should go for it. So I don't know. This is kind of like that first lady. Like I get being upset. I do, but it's a first date. Like I think you gotta.
And that's why I laugh
protect
because
yourself from this. Like you don't let yourself get so worked up.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt.
Now, wasn't he so butthurt off the first date though? Like he fell for her hard.
Well, it wasn't good to say that terminology, but it's essentially what I said. Yeah, I feel like, and I guess
but that's rule number one, kid. Online dating, you ain't gonna fall in love. Like he felt like he was lusting the crap out of this girl on the first date.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I think he needs to have been a little bit more protected in his own emotions. Yeah, like
I think
it's
in
one
both
date.
scenarios, it was just disappointment compounded on disappointment, and just the pattern of being disappointed over and over and over, and just feeling futile. Like I feel for both of those people for that reason, but also like you gotta move on. Like you can't let it like ruin your life. Like it sucks. Especially when it seems to happen to these people over and over where they just cannot find like a decent person to have a date with. But like if it's something that you want, you gotta
keep trying
after it. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't give up. You gotta learn how to get rejected. And it's
and take risks. Like you have to take risks with your emotions sometimes. Like that was the point of my story, was like there are bigger risks than the person that you're messaging ghosts you after a first date.
So true.
But people take them all the time. And so like that was the point of my story, was like taking a big risk is scary, but it's sometimes necessary, even if it fails. And so I think you just have to be more comfortable with taking big risks, failing at big risks, and moving on. But
exactly. It's gonna be okay, my friends. Whether you're with that person or not, sooner or later, or you never are. I've made the conclusion that if I die single, that once I get to heaven And then I thank
What
God, I
the
get to the pearly gate. Wait, let me finish. I see all the people I've been missing my whole life. And I get to meet the people I never got to meet, like if Babe Ruth or something. I'm hanging out in heaven. I'm making my heavenly podcast. I'm gonna go to God or Jesus, and I'll say, "Hey God, can I just ask, how come I never got a girl in my life?"
He'll say it was Babe Ruth the whole time, and
I was
boom.
literally about to say you're single your whole life will be worth it as long as you get to meet Babe Ruth as soon as you pass.
Not meet, date.
Well, the thing is, whether that could be also an option too. But I'm just saying, and if he just says it just wasn't meant to be, we're like, okay, fine. What am I gonna do? At least I'm in heaven now, and then in heaven I can do my fantasy dates for the rest of eternity. So I'm fine being single the rest of my life, and it took a lot of rejections for that. And I'm still only 29 years old. Hopefully, I have many more decades to go, and whatever happens there in that aspect of your life, if it happens for me, great. If not, I'll be okay. It'll be okay.
We'll all be okay.
And I've seen it all, and I've experienced it all, and I'm still here with my mind intact and amazing support system. So if there is some lucky lady out there to share it with, I can't wait for that day to come, and I can't wait to see what they look like. But until then, I only have to work on what I can control. And I won't go on as many dates as I used to. I feel like I've figured out a way to make it worth it to spend all that money to try. And if not, then I just have more material for the show to learn from it. The listeners can learn.
That's the upside.
So with that, I'm going to end with, to prove this, and the rest of the times I do these type of these segments, we're not going to make fun of men and women dating anymore. We're going to show an example of it working out, because at the end of the day, that's the point. And we're ending on a positive note, and why you can't give up on this dating thing, no matter how many things go wrong. And you don't have to blame the other species or for it.
Gender, not species.
Gender. That's what I meant. But it works out as well. And there's plenty of stories to show that. And you watch those stories and you experience and you take that love in. So we have here one of the best couples in the world. Let me just pull it up. And when I see this show known as Love on the Spectrum, we actually have an example here of the great David and Abby. Before the show, this was them. This is them. These are TikToks from 2022. And this is Abby and David after their first date, having the same exact feelings we have. And this is an Abby and David show why you can't give up on this stuff. So here's an example of love working out, even in this world we live in.
Okay, so where are we right now?
We are at the Grove, and when comes to dating, sometimes it makes me feel like a bit nauseous.
Like, okay, David specifically though, right?
Yeah, because I only met him a few times.
So how do you feel like? You said what is the feeling on the inside?
Nervous, heartbeat races.
And what else? You said I feel like
vomiting, but I'm not really going to.
Thank God, because that would kind of ruin the date.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll post another update in a little bit.
Okay.
Hey David, how did you feel before going on your first date with Abby?
A little nervous, but excited.
Yeah? And then how did you feel when you guys were at the Grove before you had your first kiss? How did that make you guys...
Happy.
Yeah? Were you nervous before then too, or how were you feeling?
A tiny bit nervous, but I am really excited.
Oh, how did that make you feel to see how Abby felt before the date? How did that make you feel?
Same way as her.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sweet that you guys are still together, huh?
Yes.
How does she make you feel now that you've gotten to know each other better?
Happy.
Oh, that's good.
I love you, Abby.
There you go.
I love them.
Yeah, that's like me and my boyfriend's favorite show. They're so cute.
I'm a big fan of Abby on TikTok. I follow her and her mom, and she's just like, so I'm a speech therapist. And so I work with a lot of students on the spectrum. And I just love the fact that she is doing so much to show that people who are on the autism spectrum can just live normal lives and do things that people who are not on the spectrum can absolutely do. Like, anything is possible. It doesn't have to be like stigmatized, or I just love how she illuminates the whole kind of situation. I think she's so great.
Couldn't say it any better, Katie. And again, they said the same exact stuff we have felt, most of us on dates, not most of us, all of us have felt before and after dates. And sure, maybe most of the time, there's a reality, not to discourage you, it's not what you thought it would be. You didn't get the result you expected. But in plenty of examples that are still hundreds of thousands of examples in this world, is somebody who genuinely does feel for you the other way, the same way. So as we see in Abby and David, as I'm sure with Ryan and Melissa, Cara, I'm sorry, I don't know your boyfriend's name, but Cara and Jeff and Katie and
Tabor.
Mm-hmm. See, it works out, my friends. It's just a timing thing. And till then, just know that you can, even though ugly people say this, but it is true, love yourself. But at the end of the day, too, just know that it's going to be okay. That's what I can say. So on that, one last thing to end here. Going to celebrate some music. And I'm going to also introduce this new segment here. The best song of each month. Thank you to the YouTube page, volts.mp3. So we are going to look at the year 2004. We're going to look at the year 2004, and we're going to go through the most popular songs every single month 20 years ago. So God. Very quickly, let's hit that nostalgia, see if you could finish the song, and feel free if you have a story behind it to say it. So let me do this right here, right now. Who remembers this?
Toxic, yeah.
Toxic, Britney Spears.
Oh, come on. Classic. That's like
20 years ago.
That's the only Britney song you really need. It's Toxic.
January 2004. Then we went to February. And then we have in March.
Yeah.
Classic.
I don't want to know. Who was that?
I know the Weeknd's version. I don't know who that guy is, but that was the most popular in February.
I know who he is. I just can't get the name out. Like, I can't think of the name.
Well, we're gonna have to move on. We have April.
Usher. Yeah. Oh, this was, what's her name?
In the Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JoJo. Not JoJo Siwa, but JoJo.
No, JoJo, who
Just
did not
JoJo.
get what she deserved. She did not get the fame and recognition that she deserved.
She was amazing.
Put that out there right now.
I had a huge crush on her.
She was 13 when she recorded that. 13.
Oh, really?
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah. Actually,
yeah,
I was
powerhouse. She and her mom, single mom, broke, dirt poor, and she just powered through it. And she was taken advantage of by the industry in a lot of similar ways that Kesha was, like contract bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta get JoJo back in there.
June. Maroon 5, obviously.
July. Kelly Clarkson. August.
Great song.
September.
This is 2004.
That's right. October.
Great song.
November. And December. How about
so
that?
interesting.
Wow.
That Boulevard of Broken Dreams wasn't, you would think, because so obviously Wake Me Up When September Ends is the same album. You'd think that may have done well in September of 2004.
Here's why. Because the album didn't drop until October 2004.
All right, well, that's why.
And I know this because the day it dropped, I was on a field trip to a Barnes & Noble. And the only thing that I cared about on that field trip was purchasing that CD.
Did you?
And I did. I was 12 in 2004. And that whole list is just everything that I live for to this day.
Right. Where'd you grow up, Katie?
Baltimore, right outside of Baltimore.
Nice.
Yep.
See, I mean, it's crazy how much of those artists are still working today.
Yeah,
It's
almost
nice to
all
see.
of them, right?
They don't make them like they used to.
But we need to help JoJo get back.
She's back. She came back.
Oh, she is?
She's still there. She just nobody listens.
She had a comeback moment like a couple years ago. She was done a
Speaking of,
disservice.
obviously this is not connected, but you just said comeback moment. That made me think of Natasha Bedingfield. Remember when she was famous again for like 2 months?
Yeah.
Like 2020. Sorry.
Yep.
Totally
Yep.
separate, but that's like, to me, the definition of comeback moment. You get famous again for like 3 months and then you go away again.
I could list a whole host of like early 2000s era pop stars who did not get their justice. They did not get their fame. Fifi Dobson, Sky Sweetnam. I could go on and on.
I think
Nelly
about
Furtado.
what operator, you know that song?
Yeah.
But you know that
song.
Onision guy?
The what?
That YouTuber Onision? He piece of shit abused her or something and was a big part of the reason why she left the industry, I'm pretty sure. I'm probably wrong, but something to do with him. But I really liked that song when I was younger.
But JoJo.
Matt this was actually just to get JoJo on the podcast.
Stacey
Matt did the whole
Orko,
thing.
there's gotta be more to life. Whatever happened to Stacey?
What was how about the girl who said, "It's a perfect day"?
Hoku!
Yes, bring back
Who was
Coco.
that?
In my way. Hoku!
Yeah.
I would have
Hoku.
never guessed that.
Ryan,
that could have never guessed the name of that artist.
Come on, Ryan. How do you not remember that? That was over
I remember.
Radio
No,
Disney.
I remember the song. Yeah, I would have never given you the name of that artist. You could have threatened my whole family, and I would have not been able to give you the name of that artist.
You better remember.
Well, we'll have to reflect on some more another time. But that wraps it up for today. Incredible debut from Katie Vostoval.
Wow,
Great work
thank
today.
you. I have a list that I have to edit now. This is the list.
Summer list.
Love to see it. Cara, Ryan, and Jose, great job as always. Thank you to Magic Mind for sponsoring this show. Again, check out our description page for an exclusive discount on your first subscription off Magic Mind and get a product that will genuinely get you up and ready and feeling good for your day. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of Productive Conversation. Check us out tomorrow with a special question show. And check us out at the end of the week with another tweet cap. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
See ya.
Have a good
night.
night.